Chapter 7. I heard a giggle behind me. I took a half step forward, then I froze again. I couldn't do it. I decided to run. But Uchu saved me. She came to me, tail wagging madly. I reached down and stroked her long, silky ears. Then Prince Azuri was at my side. He put his hand on my elbow and guided me forward.
Have no fear. The king is dangerous only when he's hungry. What is your name, so I may tell him?
Aza. I had to repeat myself 3 times before my voice was strong enough to be heard. I stood 2 inches taller than the king, hulking over him.
My dear,
he said, taking my hand in his.
If only the ogres were as afraid of me as you are.
He was so kind. I forced out, Congratulations, sire.
Thank you.
He passed me along to Ivy. I curtsied. She let go of the king and took my hand in both of hers. Her smile seemed genuine now, different from the smiles she'd bestowed on everyone else. I know how you feel. Her whisper had a Carian accent. She licked her lips. I was terrified when I arrived here. Petrified. And the wedding ceremony. I'm relieved it's over. I was thrilled. I struggled and got out. You are very gracious, Your Majesty. Congratulations. I curtsied without falling over and hurried after the Duchess. The Queen had spoken more to me than to anyone else. It was barely dawn. I heard a peep and then a trill. A lyrebird sang from atop the curtain rod. I heard more birdsong outside my window and from the corridor beyond my door. The birds made for a charming awakening. We should bring songbirds into the feather bed. I'd have to tell Father. I had the morning to myself, and I hoped to explore. The Duchess was going to see an old friend. Then we were to attend a centaur performance in the tournament arena. I would see my first centaur. I looked for a simple gown, but the simplest one had so many ruffles in the skirts that I had to hold my arms out stiffly. Moreover, the matching headdress was a bonnet with a 2-foot-long bill. The corridor outside my chamber was empty, but someone was singing nearby. I sing to outwit the thoughts that come to mind. I walk to outwalk worry, lost lies far behind. I wondered if the singer might be a corridor troubadour. I hadn't encountered one yet, but the castle was known for them. They were servants whose only duty was to stroll through the hallways singing. Anything might suggest a song to them. A historical occasion, a boar hunt, even a rainy day. The corridor ceiling downstairs on the entry level was vaulted, 12 feet high at least. Everything was oh so grand, but the sink of the tallow lamps was a whiff of home. Song lyrics, painted in gold leaf and black, covered the corridor walls, each letter as big as my hand. I admired the calligraphy and wished that my brother Olo, the family artist, could see it. After more twists and turns than I could keep track of, I smelled baking bread and hot stew. My stomach grumbled. I followed my nose. I expected to hear the same sounds the Featherbed Inn's kitchen produced. Plates clattering, pots banging, laughter, an occasional oath. Instead, I heard bells, a harpsichord, and feet pounding in time with the music. I reached the kitchen and stood gaping in the doorway. The room was 10 times the size of the featherbed kitchen. In the center was the harpsichord, played by a wench with lightning fingers and a dreamy expression. Activity swirled around her. Serving maids piled muffins and rolls on platters. 3 men muscled an ox carcass into a huge oven. A boy peeled a potato that could only have come from a giant swamp. The potato was half as tall as the boy. The pile of peelings came up to his ankles. The bell ringer was the cook, a red-faced woman almost as big as I was. Her arms were striped with bracelets made of tiny bells strung together with twine. She was cooking in 3 frying pans at once, cracking eggs into one, flipping pancakes in another, and frying meat patties in a third. As she worked, her arms shook and the bells tinkled. She shuffled from foot to foot in time to her music, swooshing the rushes that were strewn across the wooden floor. As if a signal had been given, everyone began to sing a morning song. Climb the day, drop your dreams, possess the day. I longed to be part of it. Unlock your eyes and shine the day, invoke your voice and press the day. I joined in, singing softly. Stretch and yawn, now is the beginning. I took a step into the kitchen. A serving maid carrying a stack of dirty plates bumped into me. Now is the dishes went flying. Crash! Silence. How could I have been so clumsy? The plates were rimmed with gold. They would cost a barrel of Yorfies to replace. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Everyone was staring at me. A frozen moment passed. Then everyone was curtsying and bowing. A man with a broom headed my way. The cook moved her pans off the flame.
What can frying pan do for your ladyship?
Her face was expressionless. I crouched and picked up pieces of broken china. I'm sorry. I should have, the woman repeated.
What can frying pan do for your ladyship?
From the floor I said, I'm not a ladyship. I'm only an innkeeper's daughter. I thought.
Frying pan thinks the innkeeper's daughter should leave the kitchen.
Her voice rose.
Frying pan thinks the innkeeper's daughter has no business interrupting the king's servants. Frying pan thinks the innkeeper's daughter should get